Hi, I'm Tash. I welcome you to a new lesson. Friends, we have spoken so much about preparing you for a job interview, how to talk, what to wear and what not to wear, right? Yes, but today I'm going to help you with another interesting tip for preparing you for an interview, okay? And it says writing an effective resume. Yes, it's not for the first time, not at the very first time that you will be directly called for an interview. It's not going to happen. People are going to view your resume and that's when you get a call. So do you think it's very important for you to write a nice resume? I personally feel yes. And that is why I'm here to help you today. So let's get started. The first point says contact information goes to the heading. Okay. What will you include in your contact information? In contact information, you will include your full name, okay? Your full name, your complete address with postal code, address, the telephone number, and email ID. About email ID, there's a very important thing that I want to tell you. If your email ID does not look professional enough, for example, if your email ID says love_sweetheart_honey. Whatever, it does not sound professional. So you better get a change and better get a professional email ID for yourself before you put it on the resume. So you need your full name, your address with your postal code, your telephone number, okay, and your email, a professional one. So that's about contact information goes to the heading and what all you should include in your contact information. The next point says stay away from anything personal. Okay, when I say stay away from anything personal, I simply mean do not write things in your resume which are not related to the job, like your marital status, your age, your date of birth. Do you really think they're interested in that right now? Unless it is a requirement for the job that you have applied for, okay? Again, over here, the use of photos. Usually people have this habit that they just paste a passport size photograph on the right side of their resume. Not required unless it's your job requirement. Let's say you're applying for a TV host or an actor's position or for an airline job. Yes, then probably it's required, but otherwise I don't recommend you to use your photographs there. Okay. The next point says create a clear objective. Obviously, when you are writing a resume, you have an objective in mind. The person who is reading your resume, he or she definitely needs to understand what are your goals for applying for that particular job, right? So you need to ensure that your objective is very short, very crisp, and very precise. Don't just write your plans for the next 5 years. Don't write to the person that, oh, I want to be a billionaire in the next 5 years. I want to be a millionaire. He's not interested, okay? Ensure that you write something which is pertaining to this particular job, your plans for this resume and this job that you have applied for, okay? And your career objective has to come out really nice because the person needs to understand that you are professionally qualified for this job, okay? So that's about creating a clear objective. The next one says skills and qualifications. Well, friends, you need to understand that education qualification and skills are two different things. When I talk about qualifications or education qualification, just to be more precise, if these are my educational qualification, I need to ensure that I write over there things like my degrees, my certificates, my school, my university, everything that I have done from my school to my college and my university days, okay? And in the skills section, you will write everything and anything that is beyond your school and university. Like maybe you're very good at computers, you are a computer literate Talk about your computer literacy aware. Then maybe you know many languages, right? Many people do know a lot of languages, but sometimes it so happens that I might speak French, but I don't know how to write French. Yeah, it does happen. So you have to really mention everything very precisely over there, so that the person gets a very clear idea of what and who you are all about. Okay, that's about skills and education qualifications. The next one says use action verbs and numbers. Okay, in your resume, it is very important that you let the other person know what and who you are, and you obviously are not there right now in front of the person to tell him or her who you are, but your resume is doing the talking right now. So just listing the roles and responsibilities is not enough. Your action verbs and numbers are going to be demonstrating all your accomplishments. Okay, over here you need to mention the things that you have done in your past work experience. For example, things like the number of clients that you have attracted to the company. Let's say you started a campaign and the implementation that you did and the success that it saw. You can also talk about how you contributed to the annual sales report. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean, especially if you are a salesperson. These things are very, very important. Unless you don't let your actions speak and let people see your numbers, they are not going to understand and they are not going to know who you are. Okay. The next one says use buzzwords. Now, buzzwords, when I talk about buzzwords, of course you all know that your resume could be read by a computer, right? Now, a lot of these resume scanning software, okay, are designed in such a way that they pick up only keywords. Okay, they will pick up keywords and jargons. What are jargons? Keywords and jargons are those which are related to that particular job opening. Okay, so you must have seen yourself when you see a job description, there will be keywords in there like need a software engineer, or we need a technician. Now words like technicians and software engineer are your keywords. Of course, they are the name of the position as well, but you have to always go, before you write your resume, okay, go through the job description once again, pick out the keywords which you think are important and put it down in your resume. Because every time the computer reads your resume, and if these words are not included, they are not going to be, your resume is not going to be picked up. Okay, so remember, use buzzwords, make a note of these buzzwords so that you can include them in your covering letter and resume. Okay, so very important, keywords and jargons, okay, industry jargons. Like if you are into the IT industry, there will be words which they have typically for that industry. Those are known as jargons. Okay, the next one says use a second page. I heard many people tell me that, you know what, Tash, it is really absurd if I am going to use a second page or a third page for my resume. Okay, till using a third page, maybe yes, I would not recommend as well. But do you really think, friends, that your entire resume, along with your work experience and along with who you are, is going to fit in that one page? No, I personally don't think so. And I'm sure you will agree with me. Whenever you're writing a resume, please feel free to use a second page. In fact, what you should be bothered about is what you want to put in that second page. Which is that relevant information that you have missed out and could go on that second page. Okay. Also, remember, whenever you use a second page, don't forget to use a header. Okay. Okay, a header, and then again you will put your contact information on that page as well. Okay, that's very important because you know, it's just important because the person needs to have your contact details on every page of your resume. Okay, so that's about using a second page. So please feel free to do that. Okay, review your references. While I'm saying this, I need you to understand that every employer these days needs a reference. Okay, they might not ask for it in the first interview, but they will definitely ask for it in the next interview or two. Keep your references available, but the common practice that you should follow should be references available on request. Just available on request. This is just to be on the safer side. You could simply say references available on request. And please keep your references ready because they are definitely going to ask for it. And remember, they should be really good references. Okay. The last point says cover letter. You might wonder, she's spoken so much about writing a nice resume, and why do I need this? Yes, friends, it's very, very important. A good resume cannot be complete without a good covering letter. Now, the reason why you need to write a covering letter is, do you think you have actually been able to write everything about yourself in this resume? No, because there are sections you have to follow, like your contacts, your career objective, your goals, and your qualifications. So there are certain places where you think you could have written more, but there wasn't any space. Right? So what you could do is, you could write in the covering letter about the current job that you have applied for, why you think that you are the right candidate for that job. You should write about your accomplishments which prove that you are ready for this job. And also, you have to mention about things like your communication skills, which definitely you have not mentioned here, right? You talk about your communication skills, how you have or how you pay a lot of attention to details, your grammar, your punctuations, your personal writing styles. These are very, very important. You know, you might feel that, oh, this they can know, or this they might know when I'm on the job. But for you to get that job, it's very, very important that you mention every detail about yourself. Yeah, so a good and a nice, and one more thing, very, very important. The moment you finish writing your cover letter, please proofread it. We have something like a spell check, right? So go through your entire resume along with your covering letter, and that's where you can just shoot it, right? So that's about writing an effective resume. You can take all possible help from all the previous videos that we have done on job interviews, how to present yourself, and of course this lesson wherein how to write an effective resume. And I'm sure, friends, you will nail the next interview that you're going for. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Take care, keep learning, keep watching. I'll be back next time with a new and interesting lesson. Till then, take care.